Welcome to the 9th and final, at least for now, part of the Zelda Series review. Today, I will be looking at the newest entry, Breath of the Wild. Some light story spoilers will be present, so proceed with caution. Breath of the Wild for the Wii U and Switch is quite different from the other Zeldas, but not in a bad way. In fact, gameplay-wise, it seems to be a true continuation of the gameplay seen in the original Legend of Zelda, and is perhaps the bravest Zelda game ever for making all these changes. It focuses heavily on exploration to the point that you can complete the objectives and the main quests in just about any order, and in some cases you skip to the point that you can actually go straight to Hyrule Castle to fight Ganon shortly after the start of the game. I wouldn't recommend it though. There are only 4 main dungeons in Breath of the Wild, which doesn't seem like much, but if Majora's Mask taught us everything, but that this won't be a short game. It's one of the longer Zelda adventures actually, if not the longest. This is one of the few Zeldas I've seen in recent years that truly seems to reach its potential. Breath of the Wild plays more like an RPG than a traditional Zelda game, but it still has that Zelda charm to it. It has more of an emphasis on story than previous Zeldas, and even includes voice acting, which is a first for the series. There are some major gameplay differences between Breath of the Wild and previous Zelda games. One is that you get all the items you'll need in the form of runes pretty much at the start of the game, and many of them are used throughout, including staples like bombs, as well as new items that grant abilities such as stopping an object in time, freezing objects, or moving around the room with magnetism, which is more fun than it should be. Another major game changer is how it handles weapons. In most Zeldas, you only get a few weapons throughout the game, usually a basic sword at the beginning, and a new special sword towards the middle, and maybe some sword upgrades or a more powerful optional sword. Not this time. There are a ton of weapons you have to get throughout the game, mainly with melee weapons and bows. Yes, I said melee weapons, not just swords, since Link uses all sorts of weapons in this game, like axes and spears. The catch of having all these weapons is that they break after a certain amount of use. It's the same with bows. The only exception is the Master Sword, but it can only be used at full power against Ganon or one of his manifestations. Another change is the introduction of cooking. Gone are the potions and empty bottles of Zelda games past. Instead, we have a new system where you collect various ingredients throughout the game and mix them together for various results. The main use being to make items that can replenish hearts, since even recovery hearts are gone in this game. As I stated earlier, there are 4 main dungeons in the game, none of which are all that long, and a new aspect is that you can manipulate the layouts of the dungeon from the map screen, which is actually pretty neat. There are also several mini dungeons in the form of shrines. Each of the many shrines in the game offer unique challenges with the goal of reaching the ancient Chica monk at the end, who will give you a spirit orb. Collect 4 of these, and you can go to one of the many god statues to get either a heart container or a stamina upgrade. I always went for the heart container since stamina upgrades aren't really needed, and heart containers are, especially if you want to stand a chance and if you want to get the Master Sword, which is completely optional in this game, by the way. Speaking of the shrines in the Sheikah, many Sheikah are actually seen in this game since most of them live in Kakariko Village, marking the first time that true Sheikah outside of Impa have been seen. There's even a rogue faction of a Sheikah known as the Yiga clan who will allow Ganon and try to kill Link. Even though there are a ton of Sheikah in this game, they remain just as mysterious as ever. At this point, I'm convinced that Nintendo wants them to remain a mystery. One of the many things I really like about this game is how it seems to invoke memories and nostalgia for previous Zelda games, mostly with the soundtrack, in a few sections such as the Stables, Zora's Domain, Death Mountain, and Rita Village. Another thing to note is the way this game uses Amiibo. You can use various Amiibo once per day to get certain items, and if you use a Zelda Amiibo, you get treasure chests with helpful items such as weapons, along with clothing from the game the Amiibo is from. A bonus for a Smash Bros. Link Amiibo in particular is that you get Epona the first time you use it. This game offers many innovations that the series hasn't seen before, such as the open-ended main quest, but there are some points where inspiration from other games appears to be seen. I don't know how many besides myself are going to notice this, but there are a few elements in this game that appear to have drawn inspiration from the East series, an action RPG series similar to Zelda that is almost as old. One is the god statues being used for upgrades. East Origin used a very similar system. Another is Breath of the Wild's memory quest. Throughout the game, you must travel around Hyrule to regain Link's lost memories, some more difficult than others, such as one located right inside Hyrule Castle. Who thought that was a good idea, Nintendo? Anyway, this is essentially the plot of the 2012 game East Memories of Celceta. I won't say too much yet since I'll be discussing East in its own series review, but the plot of that game basically involves the main character traveling around the forest of Celceta to regain his lost memories. Sound familiar? The plot of Breath of the Wild takes place 10,000 years after an encounter with Ganon where 4 divine beasts and guardians, creations of Sheikah technology, were used to seal him away. A century prior to Breath of the Wild, Ganon breaks free of the seal and these creations were dug up to defeat him as they had before. In a case of Ganon probably thinking, seriously, do you think he could use the same trick to me twice? He took control of the guardians and divine beasts and killed the 4 champions piloting the beasts. Link is fatally injured protecting Zelda and is placed in the Shrine of Resurrection, where he awakens a century later. Zelda, in the meantime, has been trapped in Hyrule Castle and has been keeping Ganon contained there for the past century. Link must take the divine beast back from Ganon while recovering his memories. I'm not going to say anything more about the plot since it really is something you should experience for yourself. The last thing I'll say about the story and its place in the Zelda chronology is that after playing this, some of the elements in the Wii U remake of Twilight Princess, including the existence of said remake, makes more sense. Breath of the Wild is truly an amazing game and is easily one of the best Zelda adventures ever. Its changes to the Zelda formula are more than welcome and helps the series reach its true potential, and I really hope Nintendo makes more Zelda games like this. Seriously, make more like this, Nintendo. Along with some traditional Zelda games from time to time, please. It is truly a breathtaking experience, pun not intended, and a game that everyone should experience even if you're not a Zelda fan yet. There is just so much to explore to the point when you might not get to everything on your first playthrough. That just leaves more to do in future playthroughs. My only real complaint of the game is that while the game itself is very challenging and some of the bosses are pretty hard, the final boss fight with Ganon was surprisingly easy. Oh well, I guess an easier end boss is well deserved after such a difficult quest and having to avoid those irritating guardians. Man, I hate those guys. With how well this game turned out, I can't wait for a DLC pack coming out later this year with the additional story and dungeon. My final verdict for this gem of a game is a rare 10 out of 10. A score shared by only 2 other Zelda games to me, those 2 being The Wind Waker and A Link to the Past. Breath of the Wild is tied to The Wind Waker to me. If you haven't played this game yet, please pick it up for either Switch or Wii U when you get the chance. You're certain to enjoy it. Great! You survived all the way to the end! I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like and click that subscribe button in the corner to stay up to date with the latest videos. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with the latest on videos and other projects. While you're at it, here are some other videos you might enjoy. Until next time!